All right, welcome back to AI for Real Estate. What we're building today is an AI email assistant that will watch your inbox for any messages that need a response. So obviously not the do not reply emails, the marketing emails, but any real email that needs a response, it will take that. It will run back through a whole bunch of your sent emails to get the exact response that you would give. So making sure we're matching the delivery and the content. So the tone of your voice, your word choice, the length of your email responses, as well as the actual answer you would give. So it's got the context and the content it needs to give the correct answer. So the way we build this is first we'll pull a whole bunch of emails from your sent box. Anything sent by you, we'll train the brain on that. And then we take those, clean up the formatting a little bit, feed it into the system, and then we set it up to start watching. So if you want to copy and paste this exact system, jump into our Skool group. I'll link that below this video. In the classroom here within Skool, come down to Steal My Blueprints, and all of the make.com blueprints will be in here. It'll look just like this. Click that, download the JSON file, and I will show you exactly how to build it out with those blueprints. So let's jump into my free make.com account so we can do this together. Let's do I like Ava. It's AI virtual assistant. ChatGPT actually told me that. I can't take credit for that. Let's do, no, we need an email emoji. Good enough. Okay, so we've got our new folder here. And let's create a new scenario. And we are just going to import the blueprint. So let's click import. We'll choose our file. Got them all saved here. Okay, so the reason I have it named RAG, that's Retrieval Augmented Generation, just meaning that the system is doing all its generation based on how we've trained it. So we're training it on your voice, your emails. So it's using, the brain that we train to sound exactly like you when it's writing. But that is not nearly as fun to say as Ava. So we'll say Ava 1 of 3. Okay. So we've got that. And then we're just going to connect this to our own accounts. So if you've already connected your accounts, you'll just drop down and click connect. And then I'm going to set the maximum number here to 50 actually. And then we will click save. And I'm going to select, let's do a specific date. So continue, let's go back just a couple months. We'll train it on everything from October to now. And then I've also got this filter. So it is watching your sent box, but that will pick up every email in your sent box, not necessarily just your responses. So we've got this filter that says look for everything in here, but only pass on the ones that are actually sent by me. So let me change this to my email at Gmail. And we can remove this filter. Okay. So we will save that. And then we've got this increment function. So that just helps with the naming of this. So what this step is doing is we're taking all the emails in the sent box sent by me. We are adding them to Google Docs as an individual document. So you'll want to jump into your Google Drive, set up a folder. I've just named this Jake email database. It's totally empty right now. And then we're going to fill this up with a bunch of documents that's like email 1, email 2, email 3. And then that's what we're going to use to train the brain of this system. So let's make sure this is connected to our account and all of these are correct. Okay, so I've got it. This I do need to change. So you'll want to change the new document location. Let's refresh this. Okay, Jake email database is what I've named my folder. So I will save that. And then We've already chosen where to start. I'm going to do that one more time right before we click run. So we'll click October 1st, save, and we will let that start running. Let's make sure it's getting these. Okay, cool. So this is going to run. It's going to do, I think, 50 iterations is what we set the limit as. So while that is running, let's set up the second step of this. So I'm just going to open up a new tab for make.com. And we'll come down to scenarios, jump back into Ava, and let's go to part 2. All right, import the blueprint for part 2. Save. All right, so here we're having Google Drive watch any new files that are added to a specific folder. So in this case, we're having it watch. Ooh. We're having it watch this folder in our Google Drive. Anytime it has a new document, we'll take the content of that, feed it into ChatGPT to clean it up, clean up the formatting, and then we're making sure the formatting works with a JSON format, which is what we need to pass it on to here. This embedding step is basically, this is the actual vectorization step where it's converting it into a long string of numbers so that it can fit inside a vector database. If that doesn't make any sense to you, that's totally okay because it'll work without understanding it. So all we have to do is, again, make sure these modules are each connected to our account. So I need to make sure the folder is updated to Jake email database. I'm just going to set the limit to 51 because I think we're only taking 50 emails right now. And then I'll choose where to start in just a minute. Okay, Google Docs, let's connect that to our account. Okay. This router, we don't actually need. I was using that for error testing, so you can leave it or delete it. I'm going to remove that just so we have one less step in here. Line that up. Okay, then we've got our email cleaner. This, you will need a paid ChatGPT account. So if you haven't done that, go to chatgpt.com. Set up a free account. You'll log in up in the top right. And then once you've done that, come to platform.openai.com and you will set up an API key. So it will, let me show you exactly what this will be asking you for. So if we click add for a new connection, it's going to ask for an API key and you can name it. So we can say Jake's OpenAI default project. Up here, you would just hit create a new secret key. So again, that's platform.openai.com. We click dashboard up at the top, and then on the left, we come down to API keys. Here you'll create a new key. You can name it whatever you want, create a key, and then that will give you the API key that you paste in right here. So that's $20 a month, but we use this in almost every single build we do in this community. So if you're not already paying for unlimited usage with ChatGPT, highly recommend doing that. So I am going to connect to this account that I've already set up. And then the prompt and everything will already be in there if you're using the blueprint. This is just telling it exactly how we want it to clean up the message. The tools, perfect. We'll leave that alone. The embeddings, let's also connect that to our ChatGPT account. Perfect. We'll save that. All right. And then the last step for this part is we need to set up an account on Pinecone. So this is a free platform, at least for how little we're using it. Really, it's like a enterprise system. They help guys like Microsoft and HubSpot, these huge, huge companies. So for the amount of storage we're using, they don't even bother charging us, which is awesome. So it's pinecone.io is the website. Come in, set up a free account. And then once you are logged in, set up an organization. You can name it whatever you want. It takes one one step. You just plug in a name, create organization. And then over on the left here, we've got database. We'll come to indexes and create a new index. I'm just going to name this Ava Email Assistant V1. Okay. And then text embedding 3 small is what we want to use here. Let me just confirm. We just want to make sure that matches the format we're doing here. Okay, so the model, text embedding 3 small. Let's jump back to Pinecone, make sure that's the one we have selected. And then we can just leave all the rest of the defaults for this. Going to turn on deletion protection, and let's click create index. Okay, so green light, that is up and running. Next thing you're going to do is copy this host address. So we'll copy that and open up a new tab. And then all we need to do is delete the .pinecone.io and this HTTPS at the front. And then we're going to copy this again. And that's what we need to plug in right here. So we'll jump into Pinecone. You'll click add to log into your Pinecone account. Once you're in there, actually, I do need to add a new Pinecone account. So I'll say Ava. Okay, and we'll paste in the index name, and then we do need the API key as well. So let's go to API keys. Let me create a new key. Okay, let's create a key. Going to copy that and paste that in here. Make sure this connects. Okay, perfect. So we've got the connection set up. And then the rest of this we can leave, I believe, exactly the same. So we've got the embedding referenced here. We've got the file from Google Drive. We've got the cleaned up text from this step and the title also from Google Drive. Perfect. So let's save that. And then I'm going to choose where to start. And I'm just going to say since, what's the date? The 31st. Wow. All right. We're just going to say from yesterday. Oh, I can choose a time. I'll say today at 9 a.m. and that will grab everything that we've just added into here. Okay. So we've got our 50 emails. That's perfect. It looks like some of these, oh, good. I thought that was blank. We do have a filter set. Maybe I don't have a filter. Let's see. Sent by me. Got that. I am going to add a filter right here. So let's click set up a filter. We'll say not blank. And let's just make sure the text content, right here, text content exists. So as long as there's text content, we'll pass it along. But we don't want to be feeding any blank documents into our AI brain. So we've got that set up. Let's click save. And then we are going to run this once. Make sure this is all working with no errors. Okay, perfect. So we will leave that running for a bit. One other thing to be aware of quick. So in make.com, if you're on a free Make account, we are capped at 1,000 operations per month. So you can see I'm burning through those pretty quick with a project like this. If you set up a paid account, the lowest tier on make.com is $10 a month, but then you get 10,000 operations per month. So if this is a system you're using a lot or you want to train it on, a big backlog of emails, obviously the more you train it on, the more accurate it is, the better responses and outputs it can give you. So if that's worth it enough, I would say set up a paid account. $10 a month is totally worth it for a lot of the systems we're building in here. So back to here, this is still running. We've got our API keys. I'll close that. So let's jump in and build the final step where we'll have it actually start monitoring our email. Create new. Let's import the final step. Save. We'll update this name. I'm going to say Ava's Brain. Okay, awesome. So we just need to connect this to our accounts again. And I have the maximum number of results set at 10. So depending on how frequently you want this to run, I need to save the scenario. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. Paid account. I'll save this. Let's make sure all the prompts are in there. Okay, we've got that. The embeddings. We'll link our OpenAI account one more time. So what this is doing is it's watching the email when it comes into your inbox. It takes that email, condenses it into a search term. So it reads through all the text and says, here's the keywords, here's what they're asking about. It puts that into a more condensed search term. So it's not passing in, full paragraphs into the search feature. And then it takes the search terms, puts it in the embeddings format. So it's got the whole string of numbers. It's all vectorized. And then we search through the vector database to see how closely the request in here matches previous emails that we've trained it on. So it looks for, I think the number we have is 7. Let's check. Yeah, right now we've got 7. I might actually set that to 10. So this will pull the 10 closest emails in context, and then it feeds that to ChatGPT, and it says, this is the email we received. These are the 10 closest emails in context. Using that, write a response email, and then we pass it to Gmail and save that as a draft. So let's get this last one connected. And okay, so we've got sender, date, subject, our relevant emails for context. And I also have this set up. This is something that you will want to change in your own system. I have it set up with a signature at the bottom. So it's all HTML formatted. And let's see, HTML viewer. So you can just go to ChatGPT and say, write me an email signature in HTML format. And then you can plug it into something like this. So this is html.onlineviewer.net. So then you don't really have to understand everything that it spits out, but you can come in here and say, oh, here's the link that I have. So when people click on this text, so they click Join Equity Today, it takes them to the recruiting website. If they click on Elite Agent Training, it takes them to this link. If they click on my phone number right here, it takes them immediately to call me. So then you can change out the colors. If you watched the last video, maybe I didn't talk about this. So we've got the hexadecimal colors, hex color picker. So you've got the whole color wheel. You can choose any color you like, grab this, and then we just copy the hex color and we'll put that in here. And that didn't make any changes. So let's see. Solid. So yeah, you'll want to play around with this a bit. I don't even know what I'm changing right here. I selected green, equity real estate color. That is not showing up. It's green at all, is it? So yeah, that's something you'll want to play with. Plug it into a viewer like this. So as you make changes, you can see exactly how it looks and you don't have to send emails to see what changes you've made. But again, remember, swap out this email signature. It's got mine in there right now. You're welcome to use that if you like and send people to all my links. But you'll probably want to swap that out. And let's save this. Okay. And then last step, we'll connect to our Gmail account. Subject, result, drafts. Okay, so we've got that. Let's do one more run through. We're connected here. Search, embed, add to Pinecone. Okay, and then this is just combining all the results so we can input it into ChatGPT. Okay, perfect. So then we will save this now that we've got it all set up. And I'm not positive I've saved these. So let's save these quick. All right, this one's done. We got our 50. So we're going to step back out of that. Actually, you know what? This one I do want to put on a timer. So I'll say every day at, 8 o'clock p.m. I'm going to have it read through my emails and send, I don't know how many emails I send a day. Maybe 10. I probably send more than that. We'll say 10. But this is just set up now that every day at 8 p.m., it will grab my 10 last sent emails and add them to that folder again. So we'll save this and back out. And then in step 2, we'll have to let this finish running. It's on 48 of 50. So once this is done, we'll put that on a timer as well so that it is also running once a day. It'll just catch everything we sent for the day, feed it into the brain here. And then this, let's set this up. So on my personal account, I like to set this up so it's running, let's see, minutes 180. So every 3 hours, it jumps into my inbox, anything that I've got marked as unread. So you can see right here, only unread emails. So if I want AI to write up a response, I just leave it in my inbox as unread. And then every 3 hours, it comes in, writes up drafts to everything I've left as unread. And then I can go in and either click send right away or make a few quick changes and then hit send. So if you want this to run more frequently, just change the time down here. Again, the one thing to be aware of is your operations use. So we're probably getting pretty close already just from training the system. Yeah, we're at 549 operations used just setting this up. So if you think about this running every 3 hours, that is, what's that? 8 times a day just to check. And then each time it writes a response. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 operations it's using per response. So I'm sure you can do the math on that and see how that adds up pretty quick. So $10 a month to get 10,000 operations. Probably worth it if you're going to use this system consistently. So I will save this and we can close this now that that's set up. We'll close these down. Okay, and this one is done. So we'll save that. And I'm going to put this on a timer as well. I'm going to say every day. Let's think if the other one's running at 8 p.m., I'm just going to have this run at 9 p.m. Just so that's got time to add everything to the folder. And then 1 hour later, this grabs all the new files from that folder and feeds it in. Okay, perfect. So we've got steps 1, 2, and 3. And this says we've got an error. What's happening here? Save, set to run, save. Oh, maximum number of active scenarios has been exceeded. So that's one more thing that Make throttles you on. So you can only have 2 active scenarios at a time with a free account. So we've got 3 in here. So forgive me for not realizing that up front. Let's go to upgrade so we can see pricing. So $10 a month, $9 a month if you pay yearly. for 10,000 operations a month. And then if you need more, you can upgrade as you go. I've got my main account over here. Let's see how many operations I've used. So you can see I've got a ton of scenarios up, and a lot of them are running as well. So even with all of that going, I've only used 580 so far this month. Mine did just reset like 4 days ago. But you can see usually when I have a big spike like this, oh, that was 3,200 operations. That's when I was training the email assistant on my other email. I fed it like 300 or 400 emails. And then I do have that running every day. So that's catching anything new I send. But 10,000 a month should be plenty. So $10 a month, or I don't know, what's 9 times 12, $108 a year to set that up. So if this is valuable enough, set that up for your account, and then just follow along with the blueprints. Make sure all of these are turned on, and your AI assistant is up and running. So one more reminder, all these blueprints are free to download in the Skool community. So jump in there, and if you're having trouble setting up your Gmail, that's an error we fixed earlier this week. So jump into here. We've got a whole video showing exactly how to set up a free Gmail account, because Google sometimes doesn't like playing nice unless you're paying them money. But we've got a workaround here. If you have any other questions, jump in the community, drop questions. If you have ideas for other projects or systems in your business you'd like to see automated, put that in the community as well. And I've usually got a poll running in there so you can vote on upcoming videos. Anyways, let me know how I can help, and hopefully this was helpful for you.